Connecting and activating. Okay. It will take time or yeah. Okay, okay. It's running actually. Mhm. So actually, most of the time, how missing data they represent as NaN actually. It will no value is there, not a number, or none will come.
Okay.
This will come into picture, and what will happen is you have to remove them actually, or delete them, or first find is there NaN is there or not. And when I created this data frame DF, it's very small as of now, but for bigger data set, which I like shared one of the example, right? So in those cases, you have to find, yeah, finding those NaN and all is very hard to actually, which column actually and which row.
Okay.
And most important thing will be finding is there missing or not is one question. And there is second question is how many are there? So I think if you remember how many we can get from DF info, so it will say two non-negative, right?
What is this TF info?
DF
Means
info will give you some information about data frame.
okay,
So
okay.
this is giving you information saying column A has two values. Two values are there, but third one is not there. Yeah, not null. So it is null actually, third one. So in the column B, only one is value, all two are null. So it is saying one is non-value, not null, sorry. And third column, all the values are there. So in this way also you can check how many are there. But this is one way, and is NA was another way. So I just told right, is NA will tell you like this. Will say true and false. Yeah, first one is have value, second one has value, third one has value, but these be where it is true, it is not having value. And similarly, if you say df dot b column, suppose you can write drop na is there. Yeah, one removing the nan. So it removed actually for you and said uh, we only have columns row 0th has some value, you can check actually. So 5 has some value. So in because and you have to remove in C also
Now,
similarly
what is drop? Now,
doing.
miss. Yeah,
So
yeah.
it is removing nan values, yeah,
Okay, okay, okay. So why that is required to remove?
meaning you have to remove missing data. You have to do analysis on only data which we have, right? You cannot sum 1 plus 2, but you cannot sum this 3.
Okay, okay.
Third one. So I think when you call sum over it, right?
Mhm.
Summing over this. Suppose you want of row A, it will throw error probably. Yeah, it will not give you value actually. So no point, right? You cannot sum actually. You cannot find mean of it. Any arithmetic operation on number, you cannot do it actually. If there is a none value, mean it is somehow giving, but for some it is not working. Yeah.
NP
So
dot sum.
np dot sum is np has some uh, functionality. Maybe they, yeah, and np is ignoring the sums actually. Is what is a null values, but this sum is not going to perform on this. Then you have to see drop na by, yeah, drop na, and then it will work. So some operations actually not going to work on na and data, and it will give
As
you,
we have imported NumPy, we can use NumPy only, right?
yeah, yeah, but one of these is you, if you want to do sum over two of the columns, suppose just you want to multiply, so how you will do? It will give again NaNs. So NaNs are not useful actually. I think so. This will see. They stored
Okay.
your values
So
and all.
use drop now here.
Yeah, actually here you have to use drops and all. That is one of the
No,
example.
just use it. Df no, drop. Okay.
I think better is you store in some value. Yeah. This is one, and drop is there. Yeah. Then drop NA you can pass actually access information also. Remember, we were passing column as and row wise. Yeah. Oh, okay. So remove access one. Hmm. So what
Let
it
let
does,
us work on previous class, the one example at least.
yeah, it is same
No,
example, right?
means question and answers like that.
No, no, that question and answer I let you first try, then only we will work on that.
Okay.
Otherwise, I am only doing, it seems, yeah. So df dot drop NA, there is one more argument you can pass, threshold. What it is doing, I think it is removing and giving you threshold is like uh, putting default value as maximum 2. So minimum lesser than 2 is fine. Oh, okay, no. Threshold is integer, yeah. And it's, I think, subsetting or not. So yeah, this threshold I thought of, yeah. So there are four function only, mainly is NA, not NA, fill NA, and drop NA. So we are working on drop, and at least two NAs. Oh, okay, yeah. So it is saying at least two NAs is there, then only you remove, otherwise you let it be there. Yeah. So I think if there is two NANs over there, so it kept only one rows. Second one it's dropped actually. Two NAs are there, right? So maximum one we can have. One more function we generally use is this one will actually be interesting to know, like fill val NA with some values. So this you are going to use. What will happen is you want to replace the NaNs with some value actually. So you will write that
Okay.
value and fill it in the data frame. So this is one of the major classes or major time you will be spending on doing analysis to replacing the NaNs actually, or
Okay.
non-numbers. This was, yeah, straightforward. It was given NaNs, but yeah, actually there are some other methods we can talk about. Is like if you had, suppose there are some also directly you can call like this. So it is doing row wise sum, but now NaNs are also considered to be, are neglected actually in this
When
one.
we are getting no like queries, we get NA values, right?
Yes, correct,
Okay, then we need to convert into fillna and change it actually.
correct. So generally you can fill them based on some sequence. Suppose one is there, two is there, then probably this row will have three, right? But here
So
it is
fillna,
five.
one question. Fillna will always be a string. It will not be a
No,
value.
no, it can be anything. So
Okay.
generally for numbers you can replace them by zero, right?
Yeah. We can't go more than zero.
You can go anything.
Okay.
You can fill with anything. So generally they fill with mean. So suppose you write np dot mean. So mean is a function you call them. I don't think, yeah, it's giving you error. So somewhere you have to first store this value. Suppose you wanted to fill this with mean. So you can create actually mean is equals to np dot mean of df and fill it with mean of it. Yeah. So mean was 5 actually.
Okay.
No, actually, wait a second. Let me see. What is the mean? It was, yeah. Mean was, I think, three values. So for A, it filled with 1.5. For B, it filled with 5. But C was not empty at all. So C wasn't filled. So I
Okay.
think this is better way to fill with means actually.
So it's showing C two.
Huh, so mean is 2, right? 1 plus 2 plus 3 divided by 3.
Okay.
It is showing mean only. This piece we printed.
No, no, no. A is 1.5, B is 5,
Yeah,
C is 2.
correct.
Okay, let's see.
C is actually one. How you will calculate mean of C column? You will say 1 plus 2 plus 3, right?
Yeah,
And divide by 3.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. So that's C code. Okay.
It will be like this actually. That's why it is giving you.
I got confused with rows
Yeah,
and column.
yeah. So C is this, and when it is filling, actually it is taking, yeah, for A value you fill with 1.5. So NaNs was replaced by 1.5. Similarly, you should replace other columns also. So you create one mean column and fill with mean column on data frame itself. This is one easiest way to fill actually, and this is one of the frequent data manipulation we call it, or missing data uh, operation we call it. This you have to do it. Yeah. So these are, so now I was talking about some methods on the data frame. Let's see we can have or not. So you can pass axis and sum over columns. Just now we sum over rows, I think. This is summing over columns. And one more argument you can give. In place equals to true. This is also. uh, place equals to true. Yeah, this is, yeah, like this. What it will do, it will permanently remove your NANs and store it now. So you can see data frames. It's always now NANs were removed permanently. Yeah, you cannot restore NAN now. They are replaced by the mean values. Now your data frame is this. If you do sum, you will get now correct values of this sums and all. Uh, df dot mean is also there. So mean was actually giving you mean across the rows and column. Sorry, this was giving across the columns. You can actually, yeah, pass here columns. This is going giving you across rows, but
Yeah.
do you get, yeah, difference between them? Yeah, this min or this min. We pass axis as column, so it is saying you did sum and meaning took the mean and printed here, took the
We
mean of
store if
this.
we press df dot mean, we get mean value from the rows. So
Yeah,
if we use access, we get mean value from columns also.
correct, you can
So
get
in
the
this way,
mean.
we need to mention columns.
Okay, correct, yeah.
Okay.
And there is one more argument I think you can pass. I- right now it will not work because we don't have. We can say axis is equals to columns, right? Yeah, for rows you should say index actually. What is, okay? Yeah, we forgot to write mean here. This is also way, that was also way. So better is used to this, right? And there is one more. I think skip NA. You want to skip the NAs or not? So you can pass true and false argument here. So it will, for time being, data frame has some values. So this will have no significant effect. But in case you have, then you can use like true and false argument you can pass. You want to skip the and all.
No, I didn't
And
understand this skip now.
yeah, yeah, you can skip this class also for time being. Yeah, IDX max. This will actually one more method we have. So
No, no, I didn't understand that skip now.
no, it is going to skip NANs actually. So we do not have in DF as of as NANs, right? Suppose you have NANs. If you run like this, now you will have NANs. So it will do operation based removing the skip NAN or not. So if you remove, then your sums and this means are different now. It is 2.
Okay.
But I think it is, if you remove false, it will become NANs because
Okay.
now DF has NANs, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that is the three streak. So NANs you have like previously for this one. Suppose you don't pass any argument, but still it was, you don't want to check. Meaning you want to pass, yeah, NANs are there or not. You want to check kind of. So if you give pass, you will see, yeah, these values are not there. So missing data is important. Like you don't want to miss data information of B candidate, right? Suppose some value is missing, it's not good actually. You did not collected, either your device was not working properly, or while doing some database operation and all, that got removed actually. So you should able to create get the value of sample properly. That is the idea. You cannot make some conclusion based on missing data, right? There is no data, how you can make your
Yeah.
conclusion or do some study. So that is also like, yeah, question on the your study itself. Like, yeah, you did analysis on missing data, which has lot of missing data actually. So sometimes we call that imbalance actually. So suppose you want to analyze one class, uh, right? So class of
So
school, and
can we have one question so which can have all these no tools to be used?
obviously the data which I gave, the first steps you should have done is get this missing information. It has missing information, right? I think no, not this. Yeah, we were actually using that. Yeah, this one. It had a lot of missing data. You should have checked. This was clear example of real life data. Actually, it they collected from some website, right? Yeah, they collected from San Francisco's website, a government website, I think. So you will find in these they will have missing data, and when you see some of this good any one of the EDA, those persons who are doing, they will be doing first step is missing data. If not, yeah, their analysis can be see they are actually checking, but this information, this row has some missing data. You can see 600 rows were there, but for this one 800 only, 600 rows are around missing. Here also many are missing. This not at all have any data.
No,
So
no, no. I
entire,
didn't. I didn't get how missing you were checking actually.
see, you have 14,000 this many rows, right?
Okay, okay, okay.
But this one has lesser number of rows. So you will
Uh,
obviously say these are
okay.
delta are missing. This has 0, so all are missing. This has also lesser, so you can say this is missing. And yeah, there was another sum all also you can check. So when the you are calculating mean, you can for time being you can calculate, but yeah, but they have some missing informations. These people also knew. I think they are also not doing much on this. Yeah. Mm, so I think yeah, this girl's data analysis. So yeah, not why someone upload see this information. So actually, yeah. Oh, yeah. Plots also we need to plot. So some missing information. That's all I think. Missing has not much. Drop we talked, fill we talked. Yeah, and we were talking about this ID max. So it is giving you the ID for row at which the value is maximum. So it is saying for row A, you have at first index data that row has maximum values, second index and third, zero index and third index. So you can check actually. No, I was explaining you the imbalance data. So suppose you have a class and you collected some data, suppose a score for each student actually, and you found like 80% of the data of girls are missing and some 20% data of boys are missing. So what will happen, right? Even you do any analysis saying, yeah, girls are performing better or boys are performing poor based on this data, then those analysis is not making any conclusive result. Meaning you cannot say like that, right? Because your data is already missed. So how you can conclude on such statements? So statistically, they were incorrect results actually. We can call them. That is why the missing data analysis is kind of important. And sometimes when we have predictions, right? So failure cases. Suppose your machines, you are recording some information or getting, you can say, reading from a sensor, right? So your machines will be working always as expected most of the time. Very less time it will fail. But you want to
Uh,
know
one second. You have mentioned 20% data of missing or missing.
for, yeah, of boys it should be. So yeah, I was saying if you have sensor data, so sensor data will be most of the time imbalance actually.
What is the sensor data?
Sensor data, yeah. So study meaning whenever you put some sensor, right? Sensor
Uh,
can be of like calculating temperature
okay.
or some vibrations also, and maybe humidity also you are calculating of any of the
Oh, that
place.
sensor. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
those sensors actually. So what will happen, even not these, there can be many different types of sensors placed in industries actually.
Okay.
So those sensors will have failure data, right? So suppose
Yes,
the
definitely.
temperature is, suppose 100 is optimal temperature to work or to machine to work actually. Machine cannot work beyond that. So in a while, like you will calculate a data for years actually, maybe supposing you calculate data of years, so very less time it will actually go beyond greater than 100, right? Because it will not stop working, so those times you need to check why it went more than 100, and these informations will be very less actually. How you can predict though, meaning this we call it predictive maintenance actually. One of the use case I found many time in industry. So you will not find very less data greater than 100. So how you can suggest, yeah, you should do this type of analysis. Even for cars also you can say. Suppose you have car or bike, you are only observing their temperature of engines, but engine temperature will not go very frequently too high or yeah. So at that time you need to know what is the condition of your machines and all. So in this way, these sometimes required, but that is imbalanced data. Yeah, that is different topic altogether, but not, yeah, missing data. So these are the some, yeah, there is one more method on data frame. I will talk one or two. Describe, we talked, right? Df dot describe. It will give you some mean
No,
count.
can
Yeah.
we go through that one actually? No, yeah.
Which one?
This one, temperature, all these things.
So yeah, this is one example I talked about imbalanced data. We can talk later, I think, when we do analysis on machine learning some stuff.
Okay, this is a little bit advanced.
Yeah, correct. Little bit, that is only you have to do in the last. Sums,
Okay.
yeah, cumulative sums is also there. So before, yeah, we do cumulative sums, let's replace this df drop na. Instead of drop, we should fill na. There is, yeah, fill na with that same mean. We can fill it. We should put in place equals to true also, so that it will remove. And now you will see this is cumulative sum, so it is summing previous rows. Notice, so 1 is there, then 1 plus 2 is 3 is there, then 3 plus 1.5, 4.5 is there. Mm-hmm.
Didn't got this come from actually.
Mm-hmm.
How it calculates again? Can you please tell?
Cumulative sum, cumulative sum, you remember, no, right? You sum previous rows.
Okay.
Sum, this one, aggregation till so far, running total,
Okay. Okay.
we call them, right? So you can check, what you are asking me to check. Like, see, your data was like this 5. So 5, but next sum is 5 plus 5, 10. 10 plus 5, 15.
Yeah, got it.
Yeah, so these are cumulative sums you required, right? Many times to calculate something. So far, your expenditure actually. Suppose you have budget of 10,000 in a year. You will check, right? Daily basis how much I already spent. So you just call df dot cumulative sum daily or monthly basis. So in the end, you know, yeah, 15 is overshoot now. I should have spent only 10,000. Your limit was 10,000. So this is 15 only. So yeah. So this is one, and want to talk more, or we can leave it.
Yeah, yeah, Rishi. Okay.
What we should
Hello.
continue, or we should adjourn?
I think
This is, yeah, this is the fourth class. This is about missing data. I think next some classes will have related to. I'm just following this. Then group by these three, four are little tricky. That's why I don't
can
want
you
to. Yeah.
can you please show it in your system? It's,
What?
what are the major things that you use in the reference?
Okay, let me
I will stop
stop the
recording.
recording. Yeah.
Once